So the topic for today is communication. Lately, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about dog training, okay? And one of the things that this particular dog trainer always says is, there's no such thing as a bad dog. There's only bad trainers. A lot of time dogs will bark a lot, they'll jump on people, they'll bite people, they're very greedy, they're very selfish, they're very playful. Sometimes dogs will bite people and they will even think about maybe putting the dog down and killing it because it's a bad dog. But then when this trainer and many other trainers meet that dog, they can train the dog to act properly. They can train the dog to be nice. Sometimes it takes a lot of work, but it's possible. Now, one of the things that he mentioned was communication. Do you know how dogs communicate or how dogs perceive the world? I didn't. I just learned it from this video. They said that dogs communicate through their eyes, so what they see. They communicate through their nose, what they smell, and then they communicate from their ears, what they hear. So when you talk to a dog, this is what I learned, I'm not a dog professional, of course, you can talk to it 3 different ways. You can show it something, they can see it with their eyes, then they get excited. But if you were to hold up, like for example, a pizza, you would see it with the eyes, and then they would smell it, and they would get excited. Then when you say the word, come get the pizza, pizza, they hear the sound, that's all 3 things. They get really, really excited. But how do you calm them down? It's the same way. Get their attention. So you'll see sometimes trainers will snap their fingers. What does that do? Is that sound and eyes, right? So they're communicating with the dog with 2 parts. Look at my fingers and hear the sound. Sometimes they will say, ch, ch, to stop the dog. What is that? That's communicating through sound. Sometimes they will even poke the dog a little bit to get it to pay attention. For example, there was a video where there was a lawnmower who would pass, and the dog would bark, rawr, 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 and then jump at the lawnmower. This is with the old owner. But then when the professional trainer did it, when the lawnmower started coming, right when the dog started to go, he pulled the string. Then he snapped his fingers. Then he made a sound, and the dog would stop. Lawnmower, run, stop, stop, stop. And then all of a sudden, the lawnmower went by, and he just sat still. How did he do that? Through the power of understanding and communication. Now here's how it works for us. When we talk to each other, whether your parents talk to you or you talk to your parents, what do we use? We only use one thing. Our mouth. Wanda, why did you do this? Why don't you do this? Wanda, sit over there. Wanda, sit over here. Wanda, don't do that. Wanda, don't do this. It's all mouth, right? But as a human being, how many senses do we have? We have more than the dog. We pay attention to our eyes, what we hear, what we see, right? What we feel, what we smell, and what we taste, right? And those are all the different ways that humans can communicate. So when you want to communicate with someone, sometimes you don't have to say anything. Sometimes you can just show them. Sometimes you can have someone else show them. Sometimes you can let them make a mistake and feel the pain first and learn from the pain. Sometimes you can explain to them in an aggressive tone. Sometimes you can explain to them in a kind tone. There's so many different ways that we can communicate with each other. But when we only use one method, which is always talking, you might not get the best result. So, next time you talk to people, we can try different ways of talking. We can talk with a smile. We can talk with silence. We can talk with our eyes. We can talk with our mouths. We can let time show them something. We can let the situation show them something. These are all important skills that we should learn in the process of communication. It would make our communication a lot stronger, which would make our friendship stronger, our relationship with our family members stronger, and our relationship with work stronger. Communication is one of the most important skills as a human being because we're social creatures. Does that make sense? Okay, sadhu.